What is up people? Welcome back to the channel. Please excuse me for the background noises because I am making this video from Kolkata and this is Durga Puja time. So yesterday was the big day, one of the biggest game in world football. Yes, I am talking about the El Clasico, the game to which the world stops. Two of the biggest rivals in world football lock horns against each other, and as fans we expect nothing but football of the highest order. And in today's video I'm going to analyze Real Madrid's 3-1 win over Barcelona. To begin with, we start with the lineups. Real Madrid lined up in a 4-3-3 with a predictable front three consisting of Benzema, Vinicius, Asensio. Whereas if we look at the Barcelona lineup, they had a few surprises installed for us. The first of which was a selection of Serginho Dest over Sergio Roberto, but the biggest of them all was a selection of Pedri over Griezmann or Dembele. And moreover, Ansu played as a number 9 for the most part of the game, while Coutinho and Pedri took up those wide roles and Messi taking up that number 10 role. And if you talk about preparations coming into this game, Real Madrid were in tremendous pressure after losing their last two games in a row. And there were rumors that Zidane could be on his way out if this match didn't turn in his favor. And as for Barcelona, they came into this game after thrashing Ferencváros 5-1. So you would think that Barcelona would be more confident side out of the two. But that wasn't the case. Just 5 minutes into the game, Benzema receives a ball from Nacho, who then threads a pass to Valverde, who slaughters it in the back of the net across Neto. Now, if we analyze the goal, when Nacho passes the ball to Benzema, there was no one to mark him, and that allowed him to turn and take the ball forward. And you could see Valverde taking that run, and for Busquets not to track that runner was absolutely ridiculous. And for PK as well, his positioning was awful to say the least. But take nothing away from Fede Valverde for that amazing run and that finish. Top notch stuff from him, man, hats off. Though, just like we saw against Sevilla, Barcelona hit back just after a few minutes with Messi playing that beautiful long ball to Jordi Alba, who then squares it to Ansu Fati, who converted it to a goal with a fairly easy finish. I don't know what was Asensio doing there. He was caught ball watching and there was no one really to track that Alba run, and all he had to do was to find Ansu Fati with that square pass. But even after that equalizer, Real Madrid was the team who looked more dominant throughout the first half. Yes, certainly there was this Messi chance where he coasted past Ramos and was denied by a brilliant save from Thibaut Courtois. And for me, Courtois had a fantastic game for Real Madrid. He's been terrific for the Los Blancos. Just moments after that, there was this long ball aimed at Cruz, who ran in behind Barcelona's defense and cuts it back to Benzema. And to be honest, that was a poor shot from Benzema, who makes Neto work, but you expect a better finish from him. Apart from that, there was a penalty appeal from Barcelona where Casemiro tackles the ball and also takes Messi in the follow through. And for me, that wasn't a penalty, but in the Liverpool-Sheffield game, like we saw yesterday, we had a similar type of tackle by Fabinho, which was deemed as a penalty. So, I don't know. If we talk about the second half, for me, Barcelona started the second half well. Ansu Fati had a chance on goal, which just went wide of the far post. And minutes later, it was again Ansu Fati who floats a cross into Coutinho, who was completely unmarked in the box, but his header just went wide. There's this saying in football, if you don't convert your chances, the opposition will hit you back, and that's exactly what happened. Longley unnecessarily fouled Ramos in the box, which resulted in a penalty. And many Barcelona fans will argue that wasn't a penalty, but deep down everybody knew that was a penalty. Yeah, you can argue that Longley pulled the shirt from the left, but he jumped to the right. But in a game like this, a moment like this could potentially shape the league standing come end of the season, and no one is stupid enough not to capitalize a situation like that. So if you should blame someone, I believe it should be Longley. After the second goal, for me, Barcelona went all out. But in defensive transition, Barcelona looked way too disorganized. Without the ball, they played in some sort of a 4-4-2, and clearly it didn't work. It was easy for Madrid to break Barcelona's defense, and probably they could have scored more if it went for Serginho Dest. What a game he had. He kept the left flank for Madrid quiet for the major part of the game. But around the end, Koeman made an ultra-attacking approach and there was no sense of organization in the back, which created more space for Madrid to counter. And there were very good chances for Cruz and Ramos, but Neto's brilliance kept Barca in the game. But it was like fighting a losing battle. We knew Real's gonna score the final goal, And it did happen, and what a goal it was from Modric, teasing Neto, and there's nothing he could do about it. Overall, it was a clinical performance from Real Madrid, and they deserved to win. I mean, Barcelona did get some very good chances in front of goal, but didn't capitalize on the moment, which costed them the game. Another thing which I believe is a quote from Chris Davies, the assistant manager of Leicester City. And Chris's quote is, transition or controlling transition is the most important thing in the game. And in today's game, we exactly saw that. Real Madrid controlled the transitions better and this came on top. On the other hand, Barcelona was too slow to react, the pressing was wayward and there were not many recovery runs which costed. Now a very important question arises, that was Madrid perfect? For me, no, absolutely not. In defensive transitions, Real Madrid suffered, but the lack of pace in Barcelona's forward didn't allow them to capitalize on the situation. So in my opinion, someone like Dembele could have easily possessed much more threat to Real's defense. And we all saw in the Shakhtar game how pace could really hurt Real's backline. So for me, it didn't really make any sense why Pedri was chosen over Dembele in a match like this. One explanation could be that Koeman wanted a very versatile front four and was expecting a lot of position changes. But even if that's true, we all saw in the first half that Pedri wasn't getting involved in the game that much. So how did he got to play so long? And the same could be said about Sergio Busquets, who was absolutely diabolical tonight. Real Madrid totally exploited him and you could see that he wasn't making an impact. So why did Koeman's substitution was so late? Because if you are substituting at the 81st minute, the player would hardly have time to make a difference. And players like Dembele would take time to settle. As for Real Madrid, their team selection was superb. Fede Valverde was absolutely phenomenal. What a performance, man. Hats off. Casemiro as well had a fantastic game. Another very important substitution for Real was the introduction of Vasquez, who in my opinion provided more option in the attacking phase for Real Madrid than Nacho did. To sum it up, I would say that it was a brilliant El Clasico, much better than what we saw the previous year. And I hope the next one is even more exciting. So if you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you comment down below to what I should do next. And don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, cheers, bye.